Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Here we are at the ramen sushi ban. Okay, so let me just spam this out. Alright, let's get it on X. Okay, so what are we looking at, guys? What are we looking at? We'll start with Sol just quickly because that was the title of the stream. Solana to 169. So let's just go on the 4 hour because we're kind of a little more zoomed in right now. Oh yeah, let's check this. Make sure I'm not looking completely dumb on the Hisoka. Looks like it might need a reset. There we go. Okay, so yeah, we were looking at Sol to move up, out of this range. We easily broke up out of. Let's go down to the 1 hour. We could see here if we look past all those lines that we had this trend down, and we really wicked down to the 135. This sort of retest this previous high of the range that we had there, and once it tagged that, it just basically ripped and broke out, to which again we retested, bounced up to 155, which is a new recent high, and then another big wick out retest, $15 swing. Like these are big price movements. We see 152 down to 135, big price movements that we can see now on things like Solana, things like Ethereum, any of these altcoins. You can see really big swings now because of liquidations and the cascades of those. So once we kind of pushed out of sort of this high range, around the 150, Ansem was calling them the 150 sellers. I've seen a lot of other people saying 150 seller. Boss Double, hey, what's up? Yeah, so yeah, where do we go from here? I think we continue on up with Solana. Just the amount of strength that we've seen here in just a few candles. Like this hourly was 3.7%. This hourly was 2.6%. So we're seeing massive candles happening now. Forming on the dailies. We can see that we're really pushing out of this. We were struggling to push out of this 125 region, right? We had a lot of struggle pushing up into this big wick cascade, but we kept on moving up, and I think kind of that keeps happening, this kind of like cascading upwards, so to speak. We do have our targets marked out here. I think big sort of inflection point will be the 200s, just because the move from 100 to 200 was so fast. Here to here, and then we might play around a bit before rocketing up to the all-time highs, to which again I think we take a little bit of a break. But as we can see, we've marked it up level to level. We do have more sort of resistance and things drawn out here around that 200 level. But for the most part, I think from here to all-time highs should be pretty clear sailing after we pass this sort of top, this sort of volume we see here, and then again we've seen a lot of volume here. Let's actually go back and we can add that in. Yeah, I mean, if you look at that in comparative volume structures, after about this, there's really nothing but air up here. Like you can see, there's literally no volume profile. So the only way we can get a volume profile is if we take none of that future price action into consideration. Right, so we can go like this, and then we get a bit of a profile, but we can see even in this profile, anything actually about where we are now, this sort of section we're clearing now, it really tapers off. We were talking about this on GME though. This is like a boss. This is a volume boss. So once we beat it, it's easier and easier and easier to beat the bosses. Where was the big boss? Big boss was here. Right? That having been considered, those bosses are gone, and now we're looking at this. We're looking at all price as a range. And we can see that there's, you know, little amounts compared to what we just went through. And especially compared to what was at the bottom. Anyways, guys, I think I've kind of beat the dead horse on Solana. We're going up from here. You know, on a lower time frame, we're just looking like we're in a flag. Right, so we're just kind of in this flag. Where it structures to, I don't know. I don't think it goes too much lower than here. So it could just be a little guy like that. Right, just a little flag. But who knows, right? We do have a couple resistance points here we marked out. For sort of 168 to 172. And I think someone was talking about 176, so it seems like a good point to put in there. But again, I just think maybe this is steeper. This trajectory is actually steeper. Maybe closer to this line that I drew. Because this is marking out April 20th, I believe. So yeah, enough about Solana. Let's actually talk about GME. So you now just stream. Well, I'm mostly just streaming. I've been meaning to make some new videos, but I just haven't. I've asked, like, if my community wants any kind of videos. If you have any suggestions for videos, please put them in the comments. I'll be happy to make stuff for you guys. I'm busy trading the markets and doing these lives to kind of keep you guys up to date about what's going on right now, because I think that's more important during these market conditions than something like teaching you something that I could be teaching you during a bear market. I try to teach on the fly though, so for the most part I think I'm telling you guys everything that I would teach in just making a video. What I could potentially do is crop videos and put them into more of a learning structure. But yeah, like, I mean, basic things are, we're in an uptrend, right? And again, uptrends are going to be made out of long markups and then times of consolidation, and then big markups again and times of consolidation. So I think we're in the markup phase right now. This was sort of like one last push down from the bears, but I think we're gonna head up mostly green candles like we've seen here, except I think more velocity. Definitely not a lot of people paying attention from 20 to 120, and that was a bigger move. Now there's gonna be a lot of people paying attention from 150 to 250. There's gonna be a ton of people paying attention to that, and the price move's actually like the same, if not smaller, right? But we're gonna see the attention sort of build up. Making a video about strategy market is a good thing. Strategy market. So market strategies, you want that? Sure, yeah. I just want to see market strategy. So I think I know what you mean though. Yes, Sol giveaway. That's gonna happen soon. probably in the next week or so. Yeah, we'll definitely keep you guys up to date about that, and I'll definitely give you guys a little bit of room to, you know, some room in advance to let you know how we're gonna do the giveaway and stuff like that. I'm just trying to figure that. I'm planning that out right now, and I'll let you guys know. Let's check out GME real quick, because I did want to, if there are any GME holders, GMEites up in this. Just was looking at this on different kind of cleaner charts, because I don't know, like, you guys normally see me looking at this one, and yeah, it was a little noisy. I took some lines and things off of it, made it a little less noisy, but I liked how clean I had this set up on just on market cap. And just some interesting notes to make when you look at that. I've also added the Bollinger Bands. They used to be one of my more favorite things to trade. I think if we look at it on the 4 hours, we can see kind of what I'm going to talk about a little bit more, but we'll get in depth as I show you guys what I'm talking about. So like we were just looking at Solana on the bigger time frame, and we talked about this last stream. You know, we're really pushing up and fighting against this, right? So we can see here that this area price is having a hard time closing above there, right? So what does that mean? That means that we have a lot of volume that we need to conquer, and this is like sort of like a second hurt. So we have to really conquer this volume, and then we have this little nub of hurt right here that we also have to conquer and push past. And we can see that lines up with this, how on the way down price bounced, but it wasn't able to close about this. So because we weren't able to close above this line, we could actually put a line there just to, this is the nub of volume, right? So like we really want to push and see this price close above this and do something constructive. You know, even if it can consolidate up here for a little bit longer and then push off would be good. But I think we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, especially like when you look at this. This is sort of like a tunnel. You know, when price with the Bollinger Bands is like this, you know what I mean, very wide, there's a large difference there, then price can move with high velocity up or down, because usually it will stick within the bands basically, right? We can see here it had a hard time ever closing above the bands on the daily. It'll do this more on things like the 4 hour, push up against the bands or push down against the bands, and at times you can see maybe even closing outside the bands a little bit. This type of stuff, you know, would be very bullish or very bearish, depending on which way the trend goes, right? We can see here this forceful trend that happened on the bands tightening. So same sort of function we see here, that bands tightened, and as bands squeeze together into a smaller and smaller place, they expand. So same sort of thing we can see happening here. The bands will only squeeze together so much, right? Here's a good example. That's it, right? So it's not going to squeeze together a lot more than it is. So this kind of range, I don't think we'll spend too much time, because we can see here this larger trend. You know, if we look at this as like a larger flag out of this, right, we can look at it that way. Something like that as a bigger flag. You know, we could touch down even a little bit lower. Do I think that's possible? Very unlikely. With what Solana looks like right now and what the meme market looks like right now, it's definitely unlikely that we trade down under this purple box that I have here. I mean, this is like a very important range that we can see that was support turned into resistance and then back into support. So this is a very strong support line, which again, I don't think we go under, but I think we actually trade a little bit sideways and then potentially up over this. Again, we want to beat this nub. Once we've beaten that nub, it should be pretty easy. We'll base up on top of here, and then from then on it's off to the races, because again there's very little resistance here and little resistance here in compared to the volume that we've seen here and here. So as we move, you could consider this like as a 4, 3, 2, 1. So the strength that's required to go through a 4 as through a 3, it becomes easier. And then what else do you have on your side? You have green candles on your side, and people buy green candles, so let's get rid of that. Hopefully that explains a little bit of what I see here on GME. I don't think we spend too much more time inside this consolidation pattern, and the way things are looking to be lined up for a very bullish end of month here, end of first quarter. We can see this W as well. Now this could form a double W type formation, where we see this lower range get formed and then broken out. But again, I have it even on a lower time frame here. We can see what happened when this smaller trend broke out, and we also have this other small trend that we can take a look at a later point because of the angle, right? So push out of there, push out of here, push out of there. Something like that could potentially happen. Again, because we have these major velocity areas. So that's something else I'm looking at, that this next sort of breakout through this major trend, it will be lots of velocity, but then also might slow down. It corresponds with this one here, around the 25 mil mark. We could have a lot of resistance here and just kind of hang out a bit around the 25 again, just like we did here, just like we did here, and just like we did back here. So yeah, guys, that's all I'm going to talk about with this one. Let's see what's going on. Trade on Forex too. Yeah, I mean, right now, no, because crypto is a much better trading environment. Live every day, usually, but every 2 days at least. Let's see what else. Yeah, will it break up or down? That's the thing, is I don't think it breaks down much more, like down to, you know, this sort of range to retest these lows potentially at the 13 mil mark. I don't think it goes that low. See a boss, no worries. Strong support. Doge is on fire. Let's see. Let's see what it did to our... Oh yeah, not bad. Good move out of there. See, I mean, we were showing you guys this, that this is where it's going to spend some time, right? We had the squiggles. This is where it's going to spend some time. Breaks up above this. Look for something to play. Right, so this is the break up above here. I think you could wait to the 20 cent mark, or you could just... I think it's going to have a lot of strength coming through here. So yeah, it might be worth playing. Hate Doge. Still remember before Doge went viral, I had 120k more in my gaming account. Try still there. I am rich now. I'm not sure I understand. Yeah, I was just watching Mainstream and he's actually long this, so Good for him. 10% candle. Good to see. Feels good, man. Feels good, man. Did we have something marked out here? Yeah. What were we looking at on here? Something else I find interesting on GME is we're bouncing on this 45 RSI. It's a really nice up curve right now. Whoops. Actually, that was really interesting. I want to do that again. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry, I messed up, guys. Shiba's doing well. There actually are some people in the group that were in the previous GME movement. So, like, they're out there. And there's, like, many of influencers that we've done spaces with and people that we've ran into that you know, hadn't bought and bought because of that factor, that they were part of that movement. Yeah, Shiba's nice for a breakout. See, we're breaking out of this flag I was showing. See, W. It's like doing basically what I said there. And now we're breaking out of that. So this is kind of where I said, look for something to play right around here. You would drill this down. Of course, I have such a mess on the chart. So many squiggles. But yeah, like you can see actually, if we kind of ignore that just for a minute, we see that's kind of breaking out, right? So like you wouldn't want it to go underneath this right here. So you can enter even right here, stops down here, and then target up a little bit past the highs. See 5 Rs. Like I think things in this market are strong enough that you can be doing stuff like this. You know, if say you have $100 on the table, you're risking $8 to make 43. Right? You can extrapolate that. You know, put more than $100, leverage it up to 1,000, and then you're risking $80 for 430. Still a pretty good trade. Right? Favorite crypto for potentially big gains? I would say it's GameStop. This one. What's about to happen here with Gme? It's just gonna go insane. And it's gonna go super viral as well. Once the real normies step in. Like if we just look at this on a daily, someone I think was comparing this to MOG. It was a very interesting comparison. Yeah, I think I actually showed you guys right here. So this was an interesting comparison, right? Oh, Myro, sorry, not MOG. 29 days. Then it went parabolic, right? 29 days. I don't know, like, the thing is, I think this is going to happen sooner than later. I mean, another one of my favorites for big gains probably would be I mean Solana, really, right? Like this is the safest, I would say, if you want to just buy and hold spot. I think this is going up to like the thousands this cycle. So if you want safe, you know, you could easily play Solana for like a 6x. That's pretty big gains depending on what you put in. Otherwise, you could do, you know, you could make a smaller, because what meme coins are basically leveraged bets on Solana. So if you were to say put $1,000 into Solana looking for a 6x, you know, you make your 6,000 at the end, you could easily put like $100 into GME, and the types of multiples it'll make from, you know, 17 mil market cap up to the billions, your $100 will turn into $6,000 with a lot less risk capital, and then you would have $900 of your 1,000 to do other stuff with, right? So that's why I think meme coins generally are a little bit better bet when it comes to risk reward, right? Like we can see stuff. I was showing you guys this last time. Oops, not the watch list. That, you know, this is straight Solana, right? So if you buy Solana, you're gonna go up because this whole casino is happening on Solana. Now you could potentially pick. There's a lot of these like bigger ones that you could pick, and they'd be good, like Jupiter, like When, like Whiff. You know, they're way bigger ones. I mean, even this Soul Chat's looking like that could be a pretty big winner. You know, I don't know, Soul Card, that's pretty small, but it looks promising. It looks like, you know, they actually have a product and stuff. You know, things like PopCat, they're already at 250 mil. It's not going to go down that heavy. Yeah, things like AVAX is, let's have a look at that, because that's kind of the same thing that we were looking at with all these other coins. We can see, you know, this is the Ox range at the bottom, right? It broke above the box range and did one of those, right? It's breaking that, so it's breaking that, and it just green candle up. So yeah, this looks really nice, but now it's already ran, you know, from $40 to $60. So you want to see it do something here constructive to move up into these other targets. So it's a good place to play it. Actually, it's looking like it's doing something right now. Yeah, you could see something like this play out. That's where you would want to enter somewhere here, right? You want to enter on these types of breaks, right? That's a high, that's a low. This would be a higher high. So that's good breakout type trading. You could potentially just enter here and put your stops under here or under here. Depends what you're doing. If you're doing spot, you have more room. If you're not doing spot, I mean, if you're doing spot, you don't even have to put a stop loss. You can just hold this and let it retest, and it's eventually going to go up there. Like, does this eventually reach 103? Yeah. Obviously. I mean, AVAX is like a working network. It's, I don't think I used it. No, I didn't use it. I was going to use it several times and I just decided not to, right? But like, it could run into some stress right here just because we can see a lot of action right there. But I think it depends on the rest of the markets. I think, you know, if the rest of the markets keep running, so does this. And it could just do that. 50 to 100 is not a big, I think, hurdle for something like this one. Litecoin. I'll have a look. So Litecoin is usually a danger sign. I'll tell you that you want to be careful when Litecoin starts running. And we're starting to see that now. This is a bad Litecoin. Let me get a different LTC. Let's try to get a Binance. Or if we could get Coinbase, because that's a spot. And we'll put it back up in here. Let's have a look. Yeah, so yeah, interesting because Litecoin's still in the box range, right? But I think once it gets out of the box range, it's a little bit more concerning for the entire market as a whole. Like we can see it's spent a lot of time in this price range. Litecoin instead of AVAX. I personally would choose AVAX. Just because Litecoin is like the garbagiest of garbage, and this is going to be the last one to move. So chances are you'll be able to pop off a 2x trade on AVAX and come back to Litecoin for the trade if you want. So yeah, I think like we have a little bit of troubles coming out of this box range, but then once it's out of this box range, which is like not far from where we are, we're at 95, so in the hundreds, in like, you know, maybe this range, 100 to 115, that's where you could re-enter. And then yeah, I mean that's up to you though. I don't know. Again, I personally, I would not hold Litecoin at all. I would use it as a barometer of the rest of the risk in the markets. Wow, Pepe. Look at this, crazy. See, I would be much rather holding something like this. You wait for one of these diagonals to break out. See how this one just broke out what? This send right here, 20%. 10%. Like, I just think the gains from things like these are way outsized. Right? Like, look at Myro's breaking out of this flag, sort of rotation. Big candle up out of it. Because if we wanted to be more correct, it'd be like right here. Right, it's a big candle retest, and we're moving out of there. So a lot of things looking really good, for sure. See, even, look at that, following my zigzags. Yeah, I think that's all for me tonight. Again, if there's anything you guys want me to make videos on, just let me know. Buddy there said market strategy, so I'll look up some market strategy stuff. I was doing some AI market strategy stuff, so maybe I'll do that. But yeah, definitely keep an eye on GameStop, about to pop. And I mean, look at that, right? Alt season. What's crazy is this is moving up, alt season-ish. Total's moving up, and Bitcoin at 73K. So, and you can actually see this is a couple trades I've been taking. Buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. That's what I'd recommend. Buy the dip. First time today, new subscriber. Thanks so much, guys, for coming by and subscribing and all that fun stuff. It's nice to see I'm actually getting some more people strolling in. But yeah, that's Andy's Crypto Talk tonight, and we'll chat to you guys on the next one.